And we're underway here with the under-17 girls game between New South Wales Country Juniors versus Sydney Juniors. That's a good tackle. Looking to spread the ball here, City. Number 10, which is Georgia Edwards. We've got a turnover. Holding there, called by the referee. City to put the pressure on here early. And that's a good run. And that's try scored by number 8, which is Faith Nemi from Western Zone. And an early try there. Great play there by City. They go to the left. Number 8 just shows the dummy, goes herself, and she's over. Great try there by the girl. We weren't here for the start of the kickoff, but we'll quickly go through the teams. For New South Wales Country, for number 1 is Gemma Gallagher. Number 2 is Erica Maceland. Number 3 is Nita Brown. Number 4 is Charlie Proctor. Number 5 is Phoebe Clark. Number 6 is Mona Tefana Famua. Number 7 is Kira Hawkins. Number 8 is Famili Van Saleka. Number 9 is Jordan Lyons. Number 10 is Marara Ringa Kapeti. Number 10 is Laura Slander. Number 12 is Jade Sheridan. Number 13 is Ashley Allen. Number 14 is Jacinta Summers. Number 15 is Jorah Holden. Number 16 is Manana Blair. And number 10 there for City, Georgia Edwards is converted. And number 17 for New South Wales City Country is Natalie Towie. Number 19 is Jay Pritchard. Number 20 is Zali McDonald. Number 22 is Sophie Klansky. And we've got number 2 there, which is Adi Kearns from Western Harbour. They spread the ball to the left. Number 12 shows the dummy. Good defence there by Country, pushing City back. Good turnover. And that's number 6, which is Mafana. Good run there by number 3, which is Anita Brown. That's number 2, which is Erica Maceland from Central North. Referees called for a scrum. Let's see what Country can do here. That's number 3, which is Anita Brown. The referee plays a penalty for offside for City. No, sorry, for Country. Country with the ball. And there's a turnover. City. Here's number 15, which is Jorah Holden. Unfortunately, she's turned it over, and City have now got the ball. Good offload there. Good tackle by number 4 there for Country. Good run by number 15 for City, which is Katrina Ravella. They spread the ball wide. Unfortunately, she's thrown it into touch. So we'll get the opportunity now to go through the City side. In number 1, we've got Alicia Fong. Number 2 is Adie Kearns. Number 3 is Brina Tavella. Number 4 is Breeze EE. Number 5 is Cassie Huku. Number 6 is Charlotte Godman. Number 7 is Iran Rietti. Number 8 is Faith Naum. Number 9 is... We've got a bit of play here. We'll get back to that in just a moment. And it's turnover for City. Well, that's a wayward pass there. Sends City back to their try line. Good defence there by Country. Referee saying Country is offside. We'll go back to the City team. Georgia Edwards in number 10. Number 11 is Grace Tabeku. And number 12 is Hope Tavanga. Number 13 is Callista Talasu. Number 14 is Kate Edwards. Number 15 is Katrina Ravella. Number 16 is Lee Wilson. Number 17 is Lisa Yamara. Number 19 is Raven Broyce. Number 20 is Rose Beckett. Number 21 is Rashi Falamasusu. Number 22 is Tala Amata. Number 23 is Vani Sore. I do apologise if I've mispronounced those names incorrectly. And the coaches that we have for the teams. For City, we have Coach Craig Roberts and manager Trish Downs. For Country Juniors, we have Coach Kim Knight, assistant coach Paddy Bowen, assistant coach Gary Wilson, and manager Michelle Edwards. Paddy and Gary were in the commentary earlier today, so we thank Paddy and Gary for their time earlier today. We've got a bit of push and shove in the scrum there, and the ref's asked to start the scrum again. The ref's just giving a talking to the girls. the scrum falls again, so we'll set up this scrum once more. Beautiful day here in Newcastle at number 2 Sports Ground. Thank you to the Wanderers Rugby Union Club for putting on a great facility here. And shout out to all the volunteers and parents here today watching this great competition between city versus country. Good turnover there by City. The referee's blown a penalty there. It looks like we've got an injured player here, so referee's called time off. We'll just take a short break while this is happening. So it looks like there's a pretty serious injury here. Good to see the volunteers and the physio. Nope, it looks like the player's up, so that's a good sign. Just while we're waiting for play to resume, just a shout out to the sponsors for this event, which is East Stolo Travel, Elders Insurance, Hello World Travel, Total Precast Systems, and Signal Sportswear and Glencore. So we thank you very much for your continued support in this competition here today. Someone to call. Are you the coach from last game? 15 girls, mate. Alright, cool. Do you know most of these players? Is this working? For us?
Turn around, I don't know.
So we've got the coach from the previous girls game from country, which is Tony Mills. Welcome, Tony.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for joining us here on Bar TV.
Truly my pleasure. Great day.
And it was a good game, the girls game earlier today.
Oh yeah, did enjoy it. We got to see some really good skill levels out there and a great competition, very competitive.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
And we've got an early lead here for Sydney in this game, 7-0.
Yeah, look, from what I've been watching, I think just weight of possession at the moment. So this will be a critical moment for country, I think, and retaining this and putting some pressure. Good scrum.
It's number 13.
Yeah, she's been quite dominant, leading the defensive line for Sydney. So
another turnover.
yeah, that was the opportunity left. You can see that country a bit short there.
So what's your role? Just as a coach, is it, or?
Yeah, so been lucky enough to be part of the under-15 program this year, so it's my first time.
Good run here by number 10. That's a great run. She's going to go the length. What a run.
Nice little
by
swan
Georgia Edwards from the Western Zone.
Yes.
That's great play, and we'll have a look on the replay here. She did it all. Great try there by Georgia Edwards. Just a show and go. Pushed away the fullback and went the length of the field.
Just pinned her ears, and it's fantastic.
And the bit of jump over it scores. Great
really
stuff.
Ben Tune like scoring the try. Yeah, so first year involved in the country program, and later on in the year I've got the opportunity to work with the Corellas as well. So really looking forward to that.
So have you played union in your younger days?
It's very polite of you. Yes, had the pleasure of that. I also referee as well. So I'm a bit of a rugby tragic. So it's been fantastic.
The referees here today have done an awesome job.
Oh, I think so. And it's one of those things. Great to see some of the younger refs coming through. So and good to Carissa, I was happy with her in our game, so it's good to see that they get the opportunity, and these are great events to help their development.
Absolutely.
Because you've got some good skills on show, and they'll challenge them.
Yep. And we've got number 10 who scored the try. He's now got the opportunity to convert her own try.
Great effort.
And unfortunately, it's going to be waved away, but we've got Sydney taking the early lead here. 12 points to nil here at number 2 Sports Ground. And what do you think of the facilities?
Oh, look, I think we've been blessed, haven't we? Great day and really good quality field. So, that just gives the kids and everyone involved here just a feeling what it's like to play on some quality grounds, and you really enjoy those experiences.
We've got number 20 there for City, which is Rose Beckett.
It's another good strong carry by Sydney, really bending the line.
There's number 16, which is Leanie Wilson.
Yeah, Leilani, I think.
Leilani, sorry.
Yeah, Leilani. They call. We had a little Leilani on our side, so makes it easy. Some challenging names on this this program.
I apologise in advance if I get the names wrong.
Good turnover there by Country out wide, so this is their opportunity again to see if they can exit cleanly.
And I heard from the boys that are actually the assistant coaches for the 17s, they said yesterday that you had a practice, your team had a practice session with the girls.
Yeah, we did. Like it's our 15 program's a little different to the older groups. So we've literally only had a couple of training runs. We had a really good opportunity to play against the Brisbane Juniors in Queensland. So you don't often get a chance to do lots of oppose. So the 17s were really helpful to do that. So it just gives you that chance to look at your shape and systems and listen to communication, and just when they put a bit of pressure on. So it was good. Helped us definitely. I think today we saw that defensively we were much better organised. And the girls then looking at opportunities, and they did take those when they presented themselves. So.
Yeah, you definitely see when from the lower to the higher their training abilities.
Yeah.
And the experience that they've got being older, the younger division can actually see that and see what they need to do to progress in their careers.
That's right. And look, I think it'll.
Well, we've got a runaway try here again.
Yeah.
It's number 14, Kate Edwards. She's going to go the length of the field.
Really
and underneath the black dot to rub the wounds into the country team.
Yeah, so just really good vision there by the Sydney girls.
Yeah, if we have a look on this replay here on the screen. Here we go.
Yeah, look, just use the overlap really well there.
She's got some speed on her too.
Clean pair of heels.
Yeah.
I think you and I'd have trouble trying to keep up.
I wouldn't even try. She's got me covered by a long way.
Yeah, so Katie Edwards from Western Zone there, just really showing great clean pair of heels. Well done to the Sydney girls.
And that takes the score now 17 to Sydney. Country nil with a kick to come. And we've got another different kicker in Katrina Ravavala. And she's converted that. So that now takes the score to 19 points to nil.
Yeah. This is a chance now, I think, for Country just to shake that off and respond and just, they've got 8 minutes to go. So, get the ball in their hands and try and do something with it. Just put a little bit of pressure back on the Sydney girls.
And the referee that reffed your main game earlier today is now doing the touchy.
Yeah, well, look, it's one of the bonuses.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, no, look, they like to do that too. So Ron Mansell, who will be looking after the referees down here, is a very experienced man and knows that, you've got two parts to this game, which is, being out there in the middle, but also on the sideline. It's a crucial partnership, so it's good to see them. You see them communicating. They'll be wiring up to each other and just, you work as a team a little bit like you do actually have the two teams in the middle.
So what that penalty was for?
Quite simply, he's just indicated there that the side entry. So
yep. The
it's very
side
clear.
entry.
We've got to come back through the gate. So yeah, and it's a hard one for the girls because they're contesting well there, putting pressure on the breakdown, but just got a little wrong. So this time referees all over it.
As you can probably tell, I'm not familiar with rugby union.
No, that's all right.
But that's why we've got the experience of yourself on the mic with us.
Yeah, no, enjoy it. So an opportunity here for Country just to put a bit of pressure here.
And as you can see, it's right on the 50-metre line.
Nice clean. Pressure was there, but looked really good.
Look
clean
like they're going to
shifting
spread the
there,
ball
had it
again.
wide. Opportunities there and have used it well.
She had some speed on her too, number 15, which is Katrina Ravavala. The offload, and unfortunately she's knocked it on. So Country's now got the ball.
Yeah, so looks like the referee's playing just a little knock-on advantage here. So this one is usually generally shorter than a penalty advantage. So you'll just sort of see. Such a excellent scrambling defence by Country. They were easily beaten there on the outside, but look, they've gone.
That was a good run.
Yeah, very good run. I think that's one of the things that's impressed me in both 15s and the 17s is how well the girls have really got good carrying ability. So, bending the line on a regular basis. So it's great to see.
At the moment, they're at the elite level, at the highest you can go, they don't play the full side in the girls, do they?
So, what you've got here is, no, we actually do have 15-a-side rugby, and that's our Wallaroos. So they're going to get the opportunity to play the Black Ferns next weekend as a lead-in before the Bledisloe Cup in Perth. So,
nice.
Yeah, so the women's game is, here in Australia, sevens became our premium attraction for getting girls into the sport. But off the back of that, I guess the advancement in the game as well is to take the good momentum that they've gained from the sevens and obviously the big Olympics win to actually develop the game into 15-a-side because, just like sevens, you need all those sort of skills here, but also you've got lots of different, as we can see, different shapes and sizes of both girls. You see that in the boys' game. So this is a really good way then to grow the game. So you're seeing that with the Super W, and now we've got our Wallaroos, as I said. They played the recent tests against Japan, and they'll get the chance to play against the Black Ferns coming up in a week's time. So that's a 2-test series. So
yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And the referee's just caught a forward pass there, so we'll have another scrum in Country's favour.
And I think this is one of the things we've seen here. Those Country girls are actually showing that they actually can dominate this area. So this will be a really good opportunity again. But they've done well. They scrambled hard down in their 22. Now they're in the opposition's 22. So I think they'd take some confidence with that. This girl's probably been, is that the number 3 they've replaced? Anita Brown. She's been one of the dominating ball carriers for Country. And
she deserves a break.
Yeah, tight head prop, mate. They do a lot of work.
Yep. So the referee wasn't happy there with that scrum, so he's telling them how to do it again.
Yeah, quick reset. Look, it's really important that they're steady and stable. So that's good refereeing there. Just to make sure we get a good outcome.
So as a referee, do you like watching scrums?
Oh, look, yeah, when I played, I used to play as a loose forward, so scrums were a big part of our game, and I think it's one of the things that defines rugby against rugby league. It's the other code that we generally compete with. It's quite technical, and if you do get it right, it's really rewarding when you win the opposition's ball. And look, I mean, the bonus about refereeing is I'm a rugby tragic, so I'd love to keep playing, but it's a really good way of sort of being out there and being part of the contest. And scrums and lineouts are one of those parts of our game that really is. It's a really good chance for a contest to happen and done well. It's a beautiful part to watch in the game. It is.
I'd have to agree there. I'm a rugby league tragic myself, but the scrums in that sport are just no good.
Yeah, it's look, I played rugby league as a junior, and they used to be contests. I find it's because, again, that's what our game's about. It's about contests. So contest and continuity, and that's an aspect of the game. And I would not like to see that disappear out of our game. We've had some recent changes to World Rugby law just in and around the scrums, and they look hard on that, and they make sure, referees, coaches, players, that we're doing things safely to make sure that, and that it keeps the game as pure as it used to be. So those changes just have changed in and around the engagement sequence and making sure that we've just got nice clear gaps and that people are steady and stable, and then we get a good contest. And the idea behind that too is we can get those situations where scrums are a little messy and they take up a piece of the game. It's just to try and get a good clean outcome.
Yep.
And they're good changes, I think, and it'll take time for the teams to sort of adjust to them, but I think we saw there referee work well with the team. We got a good outcome, Scrum happened, so in and out, that's what we want.
We've got the country girls trying to spread the ball here.
Oh yeah, good opportunity still, I think, wide. But that's good pressure by Sydney.
The referee's called a penalty there.
So a high tackle he's signalling there, so he must have had an arm up high around the neck in that play, so playing the advantage.
And I like that in rugby union too, that that you get that advantage even though you've done a bad infringement, you've still got that advantage. And they're number 11
another
there.
High tackle there. This could be a bit of pressure here for Sydney. See what he does here. Yeah, time off. I thought he might take the chance here just to call the captain in and just say, look, we've had a couple of high tackles there in a row. So Sydney, and look, it's the back end of the half, so there'd be a bit of fatigue out there because it's been a very good contest.
Yes, we're just about to finish for this first half once there's an interruption in play. And it's Sydney 19, Country 0. But Country are trying to...
There we go, yeah, I think it's options here nice and wide. They've got the overlap, and I think if they use it quickly here... Great work by the Country. Oh, really good. Good interplay there. Great decoy from the forwards. Shifted wide, good outcome. Well done, Country.
And that was try scored by number 15, Jorah Holden. I hope she's got a Captiva as a family car. What do you reckon?
Be a bit hard. I think maybe interesting to see. I think I did see her turn up in a Ford. So.
Oh, really? Well, maybe there's an opportunity there for some sponsorship for her.
Possibly.
Hey?
Possibly.
And we got Sydney 19 with Country 5, and we'll wait for this conversion, and then we'll have a short break for half time. But we'll hopefully she can kick this and and Country can go into half-time with their heads held high.
Well, I think they'd be quite pleased with that in the back end, because they haven't really had a lot of possession early in the half, and they've used that quite well. As I said earlier, they exited from the 22 and continued that down there, and that's the sort of result that you get. Nice outcomes. So good scrambling defence has led into a really nice result for the Country girls.
We've got number 21.
Definitely using all the time that she's allowed. Here we go, class.
We saw that early. We saw that early in the game with the 15 boys. They did a conversion and hit the crossbar, hit the side post, and then went over. I thought I was going to do it again.
Close, but as I said, I think they should be confident there. Just what they did in the back end of that, put a bit better pressure on the Sydney girls. So. A bit of momentum into the second half will be good for Country today, I think.
That's it. All right there, Tony. Well, we'll take a short break, and it's Sydney 19, Country 5, and we'll be back shortly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to number 2 Sports Ground here in Newcastle. We're here for the under-17 girls, New South Wales Country Juniors versus Sydney Juniors in the Rugby Union. At half-time, it's 19 points to 5, and we've got some kids in the front of the scoreboard. So
It is still 19 points to 5, Josh.
19 points to 5 at half-time, and we're just about underway with City kicking off.
Interesting to see what they do in the second half, because they've got the breeze at their back, and while we haven't seen much kicking in the game, maybe that might be a little strategy just to keep a bit of pressure on country.
And I'm joined in here in the commentary box with the under-15s girls side, Tony Mills, the coach. How do you go coaching the girls, Tony?
Oh, mate, I actually really enjoy it, Josh. One of the things about them is they're literally like sponges, so you know, really open to new ideas, and they're not frightened to ask you a few questions. So, yeah, really enjoyed it. So, I'd happily do it again too.
Well, we had, when we did the girls' game earlier, we had Phoebe, who was their backs coach for the Sydney team.
Oh, yes.
And she was telling us that there's some set plays that they have, and that one of them was called an Xbox. Do you have any set plays like that you can share a light on?
Yeah, look, we
without
always
giving
do.
too much?
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. And, you know, as I say, with just to highlight again what the girls do, I introduced just a play that we had for an exit, which you could utilise anywhere, and it's about trying to create deception in the midfield to give you a chance to go wide. And look, our girls, was introduced to them yesterday. They ran it in our post session against the 17s, and the 17s asked them the questions. I said to the 17s, how did you go with that? And I said it really stressed it, and they utilised it twice early on in our game, and you know, and it does. And that's like their starter moves. We call them starter moves, just to get you going and create a bit of pressure on the defence, and then you just see how you go from there. Yeah.
We've got the big front rower there, number 1, which is Gemma Gallagher from Illawarra. It's really good to see the. If you have a look on the team sheet, there's just a whole variety of different areas within New South Wales on that team sheet.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that they've all come in as one big event here in Newcastle.
Yeah. Look, the selections for those are done through some country champs where they get to go. So this year the girls played. So for our 15 girls, we had the opportunity to play down at Crescent Head. And
good spot.
Yeah, so that was actually, and that's interesting, you know, it was actually 10-a-side, the country champs. But now to that, we've picked a 15-a-side squad. So the 17 girls had a similar opportunity, and it happens the same thing in the boys. So, you know, you're getting all the different zones together, and, you know, and the benefit is you're starting to get the best of the best, and that's what we've got, like a good contest here today. Interesting option. Oh, good footwork. Great footwork by the
number 11, which is Grace from West Harbour.
Yeah.
Looks like City's going to try and spread the ball here. Oh, that's good play there. Unfortunately, she's lost the ball.
Yeah, good scrambling again, though, by country. Like, they're not... you wouldn't know they were that far behind on the scoreboard. But.
Yeah, it's all about effort in this game, isn't it? If you put the effort in, you're going to reap the rewards, aren't you?
Yeah, I talk about big players, and it's something I've stolen from New Zealand rugby and people that have been around. But it's an acronym. It's about called being back in the game. So it doesn't mean size. It actually means that work rate. So we call them big players. They're always back in the game and giving themselves that next effort and next effort after that. And it's. You're seeing that the country girls are having to play big.
Well, if you're looking to get some ideas about rugby union, there's no better way to look at than the New Zealand team, is there?
Oh, look, they're and that's good, and they're really good with their resources too. You know, I've seen Graham Henry working with various teams and squads in the US, and it's good to see that rugby nations like England. There's a guy, Mike Friday, that's developed the Kenyan sevens men's side, and they're actually really competitive now, and you're seeing that right across the board. And I always think that you know, if we can develop the game to a level where everyone gets the opportunities, what you actually see is really good. The game actually grows as well. So, yeah. But they're good exponents of most of these skills that we're sort of seeing on day. There's no doubt about that, Josh.
So, with being the girls' coach, how much time and effort do you put into that? Is that a whole year thing, or is it just a certain time frame?
Yeah, no, these are a short program for us, these representative programs. So our country championships were in May, and so we're just at the top end of August. So this year is actually the first year for the under-15 girls where they actually get play. Last year it was just train. So our program this year was we had the country championships. We got together once we selected the squad, had an all-age camp at Narrabeen in Sydney on the 1st of June, and then we came back together again for a game against Brisbane Juniors on the Gold Coast in mid-July, sorry, and then we've had this game. So, but look, a fair bit of planning does go into that because little things happen. There's a bit of time frame in between, and we kept in contact with the girls, and unfortunately we had a couple of injuries, and so then that gives us the opportunity to make sure we bring people into the squad and give them enough time. But yeah, it's a fair bit does go in because you're looking at, you know, training sessions. Not only that, but you're looking at making sure we've got giving the girls the best opportunity. You know, to.
Geez, that was a good run.
It was, yeah. Laura Sadler there from down in central northern Scone.
You got a bit of a story about her that you can tell us about.
Yeah, like Laura's one of these girls that just loves her sport and puts a fair bit of effort in. So, like another couple of girls, teammates here, they've actually would travel an hour and 45 every Friday night to play a few games of rugby, and she is one of those girls that, you know, most coaches would love to have in a side. Very coachable. And she's one of those girls that I was saying, like a big player, always looking for that second effort. But every Friday night, travelling an hour and 45 minutes to
that's commitment, isn't it?
It is, yeah, no doubt about it.
And
Josh.
she's got good colour headgear. She's got red and blue. That's my team in the rugby league. Newcastle.
Is that the little Knights? Well,
yeah.
It's perfect for playing here in Newcastle.
Absolutely, and a bit of a gap there. Good.
It's just too strong. Too strong. Good leg drive.
And it's another try there for the Sydney Juniors. We're just trying to see who that was scored by. We'll have a look on the replay here.
Looks like it's a
number
Sydney
5.
Number 5, yeah,
which is Cassie Tuhiku from West Harbour. Sorry for the pronunciation. Do you want to give it a go, Tony?
No, mate, I think you're doing a great job, Sean. I was looking at that, and I don't think that sounds like it, or how it reads is maybe not how it's supposed to sound, but that's all right. I think you've done well. Could always just talk about their first names, can't we?
Yes. That was Cassie from West Harbour.
That's it, Cassie from West Harbour.
Yeah. We've got number 15, Katrina from West Harbour, her teammate, converting for her.
So it looks like Sydney have made a bit of a rotation off the bench there too, making sure that the girls are getting plenty of game time, but this pushed it wide, hand on head, saying that's not how it's supposed to end up.
Well, that'll do me.
That'll do.
Right in front, and she's unfortunately missed the conversion. But the score is now 24 to Sydney Country 5. And we have about 20 minutes left in this second half.
There's still plenty of time for Country to get something out of this game as well, Josh. So we'll see what they try and do. This ball might hold up in the breeze and give an opportunity to chase it.
This game's a lot about defence, isn't it?
Well, and that's it. You know, you're seeing these girls out here looking at the Sydney team, giving themselves plenty of room. Offside.
Unfortunately, they're offside.
Country girls a bit hungry to get in front, but look, that's the sort of things they've got to play those margins. I think, Josh, just to put a bit of pressure on Sydney.
That's unfortunate too, because Country got the ball.
They did, but
The ref was playing the advantage.
Yeah, have to play within the laws still.
Exactly. Without laws, we don't have a game. Oh, and there goes the chair. If the girls can get that on video, have a look at that chair. It's Gonski.
There's some destructive forces out there today.
And the ground manager's doing a good job.
Oh,
yes,
so it's gone.
Look at it. It's gone. The crowd. They'll be going to get a refund from Bunnings for that one.
Yeah.
Great camera work, girls.
Yeah, awesome stuff by the camera team, I think. Just make the highlight reel up.
It'll be on the highlights for sure.
Oh,
That's a great run. That's Faith Nibu from Western Zone.
Yeah, I think I might be able to get that one. Looks like Nimu, doesn't it? So,
Nimu.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Just good interplay here. So Country again on the back foot.
What's that penalty for, Tony?
What he's got there is
as a referee?
Yeah, well, he's basically said the ruck's formed. So once that ruck forms, you can only either counter ruck or use your foot to rake it back. So he signalled there that Country put their hands in the ruck, so which is outside the boundaries of the law. So,
geez, they've spread wide here.
Country not doing themselves any favours here.
They need to spread real quick. Country.
Haven't seen the opportunity gone through the middle. Opportunity still on though.
Referee plays another penalty there.
Yeah, so just a good example there, I think, of just an isolated runner. Country made a good tackle, get over the ball legally, and the referee signal there that Sydney were holding on. So, yeah, as we said, the opportunity of going wide.
Yeah, if they went out wide, they were over again.
Definitely,
for all money.
Yeah,
because they had a five overlap there.
It did. Makes
Five
it easy
against one.
Makes it easy when we're standing up here, though.
Yeah,
Josh,
yeah, exactly.
No pressure
right.
of the decision.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to play rugby union when you're sitting in the grandstand.
We've got the advantage of time and space.
Yeah. This is a good scrum here.
Oh, yeah, Country. Oh. It's going to be challenging. Yeah, great D by Sydney there. Just really, the ball bobbled out the back of the scrum, which gave the Sydney the opportunity to really close down the space between them and caught Country there behind the line.
So why does it go back out to the
5 metre?
5 metre line?
Yeah, so we always do that with either a penalty or a scrum. That's just to come rather than being right on top of the line. It's been a big part of the game for quite a while. They're actually trialling a law variation now in the NRC, we'll see this year, where a situation like that, if the ball is actually taken in by the attacking side and they're held up over the line, so in that case, if Sydney had taken it over and held up, that would actually be a scrum on the 5 metre to Sydney. The law variation this year will actually be, if they take it in, they lose it, it'll come out to being a 22 for the defending team. So normally at this stage it rewards the attack. This time it's going to aim to reward the defence. So
that'll be interesting.
Yeah, the other interesting law variation is going to be something coming out of league like the 40-20. It's called a 50-22.
50-22. So if you kick it from the 50
and it goes inside the 22, normally a landing in the field of play and then going out. Normally that would be a line out to the defending team.
Right.
This time it'll be a line out to the attacking team.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see how teams adjust to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 40-20, I think you saw that work pretty well.
Yep.
In league. So yeah, it'll be interesting to sort of see how that goes. So.
Well, they've got a set play here.
Yeah. Yeah, gone deep, and just this girl's clean pair of heels scores the try
That's
out
number
wide.
15. That's Katrina Ravavala.
Yeah, I would go with that.
We'll just go with Katrina from West Harbour, and that's her second for the day.
Yeah, very quick, and I think that's what we've seen, haven't we? The outside backs for Sydney have got a very, what you want, fast.
Yep. So we just got as we said, we got
Back to Georgia Edwards, I think it is, taking the kick conversion. So Georgia maybe was having a rest as part of the substitutions, but back on to take this kick out wide.
look at that on the live stream. We've just got the volunteers cooking off the snags. Good to see a bit of volunteer work. They're not burning them, are they? Are you burning them? They're doing your best?
I think they're doing a great job. I could actually recommend the bacon and egg roll, Josh. It was very tasty.
The bacon egg roll this morning that I had was pretty good. So, and I just had a sausage sizzle with a bit of bacon on it.
I think what you're seeing there is, mate, all members of the Wanderers Club, I'd say, this is their home ground.
Yep.
So great to see and that's part of the rugby community.
And unfortunately, that kick's waved away.
Fair attempt, though, I'd say, Josh.
So we have Sydney 29, Country 5, with about 14 minutes to go left in this second half. And what do you think Country need to do here?
Oh, look, again, I think what we've got back to is the first half, so possession's been in the favour of Sydney. So I think if Country can, make some good clean tackles, contest, put some pressure on them, get the ball, then they'll give themselves the opportunity to put some pressure back on, maybe even scoreboard pressure back on them, Josh.
Good wrap around here.
Oh, yeah.
This girl's been good.
Quality play. There's opportunity here, though, for Country. No, just missed it. Didn't survive the clean out.
Run back into the ruck there, number 3, which is Briini. Number 10 takes the kick, which is Georgia. Georgia's back on the field.
Used to hold up.
That was a good kick too.
Cleverly there, because this might put Country under pressure. It sort of kicks straight back into the Sydney girls.
Good run there by Tina.
It's one of the things I've been impressed with the Sydney girls, the interplay between the forwards and the backs. Like, it's definitely a team effort here from them.
It's a good overlap. Unfortunately, the ball's been picked up by Country.
Still in play.
Did you play earlier today?
Yes.
What in which side?
15 girls.
So we got Tony, the coach for the under-15 girls, has just thrown one of his players in the deep end. She's just decided to just chill on the sideline here, and we've got her here on the line to say a few words.
So, welcome, Charlie.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Good to see you again.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So, what do you, Charlie? What do you think of this competition today?
Yeah, I think it's really good to get the city versus the country in for an all-in game to see the best city versus country, pretty much.
And you're from the Hunter region.
I am.
Which club do you play for?
I play for the Hamilton Hawks.
The Hamilton Hawks.
I certainly do.
So, do you play? You've obviously played some games on this field before.
Yeah, we've had our grand finals here.
Yep.
Yeah, our sevens girls comp grand finals here.
And are you a sevens player moving into the 15 game?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I don't mind the 15s though.
Yeah?
I think I'm getting converted over.
Must have some good coaches, I think.
Yeah. I'll give yourself a rap, why don't you?
Something like that.
Take the opportunity when they present themselves, I always say.
So what did you Tony was telling me about some of the plays that you have set up during the week. Do you remember what the plays were that he told you about?
Are you talking about the back plays?
Yeah, and there's a little one that you girls have too that we
What's the
use
what's
off
the plays
forwards.
that you use?
So plays. I'm not.
There's a good one called, what do we call it? Our 32. You remember
Oh,
that
our
one?
32, where the number 8 picks it up off the back of the scrum and takes it for a nice little run.
It is. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Charlie played number 8 for us today.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that was your set play then, is it?
Yes. We used that. I did score, but they didn't count it. That's fine. It's all good.
It's all
No
part
worries.
of the game.
Yeah. Stuff happens.
Well, Charlie, thanks very much for your
No worries.
time.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you coming along. And
Thanks, Millsy.
My pleasure, Charlie.
Don't really
My
love
pleasure.
that's what happens when you come and watch a bit of TV on Bar TV here in the commentary box. We're free in the deep end.
Yep, no worries.
That's right, mate.
It's
And
only
you
way to
do
learn.
well.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Anyway, back
We've got
here
to get back focused on
with
this
the
game here.
under 17 girls.
Just really good footwork there by Georgia.
And that is Georgia Edwards scoring again. So that now takes the score to 34, Sydney Country 5, with under 10 minutes remaining. Geez, it was good to see your girl there.
Oh, yeah.
We threw her in the deep end, but she did well.
Yeah, look, and that's one of the things, as I said earlier, that we've been really pleased with our 15 girls and the girls as well, mate. You can give them some challenges and they really do rise to it. So, yeah, I think you might get to see that young girl's face more often, I reckon.
Well, we've started her career in media.
I think,
eh?
yeah.
We've started her career.
I wonder
in
whether
media.
she'll remember us for, way down the track, Josh. I think we're probably
We're
fading
just
into
playing
the
for
back blocks,
Australia.
my friend.
She's got to be thinking of us.
Yeah, but look, when I was talking earlier about big players, and that's what we found with Charlie. So it's one of those, and again, you heard that the sevens, the background, and that's what that's created that I guess those instincts and characteristics in those sort of players. So, yeah, key member of our side, and a little bit like myself, she can be quite chatty. So I think she was quite comfortable with that microphone in her hand, Josh.
Just like myself. Well, she's from Newcastle, so we're always chatty
Oh,
people
is
up
that
here
right?
in Newcastle.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Originally, there you go, mate. Originally Kent.
Oh, well, she's a Hunter girl now. We've converted her.
Yeah.
And
that's a fair attempt
that's
as well.
a fair attempt, but unfortunately it's waved away. So the score remains 34 to Sydney, Country 5, with just under 8 minutes left.
Yeah. This is the time for Country just to collect their thoughts and just refocus. The game might have gone away from them, but then there's, this is the time when you start to play for that bit of pride. And
pride in the jersey, yeah.
It is, yeah.
Well, there's
you go.
there's something good.
Yeah.
There's an opportunity for Country. Unfortunately, the City Girls knocked that on.
Looks like they've made a few changes for Country, so some fresh legs out there maybe.
And just seeing the background down in the try line, we've got the under 16 boys training it up there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see this game, Josh. From what I understand, these boys have had quite a few games, so I think you should see quite a definitely good sort of team play, and this will be a culmination for that good program for them. So I think they'll be raring ready to go. So if I know anything about it too, Max, he's quite a good motivator there, coach.
He looks like one.
He does, yeah. Unfortunately, he's English, but we won't hold that against him.
All right, we've got Country Girls here with the scrum.
Yeah, look, and I think it has been a good part of their game. So a little short side play, not going to hand.
Just getting the girls need to capitalise on. Oh, unfortunately they've turned the ball over. Good tackle.
Well, referee's probably seen it slightly differently here, I think. He's called the captain out. Not quite sure. Yeah, there we go, yeah. He thought that was just a little bit high, so
A little bit high for his liking.
Yeah, it's one of those things when you know, out there trying to put some pressure on, and came up really quick there, the 22 for country, and put a bit of pressure on, but that just got it wrong. Thankfully, he was kind enough to say that he'll keep his hand. He didn't put his hand in his pocket, so don't really need that.
As a referee, you've got 2 cards. Is that correct?
Oh, actually 3 cards.
3
Josh.
cards.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
So
Well, tell me about the first 2.
so
and then the third?
Our first 2, they've been around for quite a while. It's your yellow card and your red card.
Yep.
So yellow card gives you a 10-minute sanction, or your red card if we really sort of see some serious incidents, mainly foul play. But in the last couple of years, as we've seen with a lot of our contact sports, you know, rugby league, rugby union, you've seen it come through from NFL. So we now have a blue card in our pocket. So that's in and around managing concussion issues. So crucial part of the game now. I was lucky enough to be part of a trial actually in a TENS competition, and that was a memorial competition for a young guy, Nick Tooth, out in the from Corindai, and he sadly lost his life.
Oh, that's a great try. Number 14 again. I'm looking at the number 16.
Yeah, we've got that one. So
number
yeah, Katrina,
Kate Edwards, number 14.
Oh, that's an easy one. We should get that one right, mate, shouldn't we?
And look at this replay here. Just shows the dummy.
Yeah, good fend.
In and away.
Clean pair of heels.
And scores.
Yeah.
Yeah, so going back to what you were saying.
So yeah, we trialled it. So it's just around managing the concussion issues, because you know, player safety is always paramount. So we're introduced with a blue card. So you know, in conjunction with the medic. So if there's someone that has got a concussion, then we just play it safe. So we issue them a blue card, and then that starts the process.
How long do they have to
stay
off?
Yeah, so no, blue card, you don't come back on.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're actually rubbed out of the game for that. And then
Right.
we've got, then there's a process called a graduated return to play that comes out of that. So for our seniors who are above 18s, then they've got a 12-day graduated return to play. But for our juniors, under that age group, it's 19 days return to play. And you've got to be cleared medically by that. So, you know, if you still have signs of concussion midweek, day 0 starts when you're clear.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so it's look, a crucial part of the game, and it's been utilised quite well. And I think, yeah, we've minimised a lot of those issues in the game of players staying on and, you know, maybe just putting themselves in harm's way.
Well, the score is now 39 to Sydney, Country 5, with just over 2.5 minutes left on the clock. This is a good run.
Quality run. It's number 16, I think there. She's really powerful.
That was
Leilani Wilson. Leilani Wilson, yeah. But here we go, just really,
good play there by number 9. Number 9 is Fatari.
So I think what you've just seen there, what all good 9s do, quick, take advantage of the referee, set the mark quickly. Yeah, had country under pressure, so.
And she's also from the West Harbour club.
Got some quality players at West Harbour.
Yeah, majority of that side's a bit of West Harbour.
Yeah.
West Harbour or West Zone.
Yep.
A couple from the southern districts.
So that's just excellent work there. And look, I think, you know, what we're seeing here, I know the scoreline's blown out, but, you know, you can't really fault the effort of the country girls there. But weight of possession to Sydney, you know, they've made a lot of tackles, so hard at this part of the game. But again, I think just so reset, salvage a little bit of pride out of this and just keep that pressure on.
So that's that conversion is successful, which makes it Sydney 46, Country 5, with a bit under a minute left remaining. Let's just see if Country can get this ball back off the kickoff.
Yeah, well, they successfully did that last time, so. Pressure into the sun.
That's a good one.
Another really strong
Number 5. which is
She's
Cassie.
she's lost it in the carry though. Country, you've worked hard enough here to. Oh no, referee's seen it another way. Maybe playing it on the ground, playing advantage here. Yeah, so no advantage there. Just got hands in the ruck again. So. Interesting to see here what Sydney do. Clocks run right down, but whether they take the opportunity here just to put a nail in the coffin of the country girls. But as I said, mate, like pressure on there. The country girls have fought right to the end. I know the scoreboard might not say that, but we've definitely maintained the effort.
Yeah, definitely by both teams the efforts are there, but just unfortunate that weight of possession and City have just capitalised on that.
That's what I love to see, you know. So clocks run right down, but they're willing to play this one right out. Another good carry there.
That's Breezy.
Here we go. We might have a little breakaway here from Country right at the back end.
That was Ashley Allen that did the intercept there.
Yeah, very quick.
And the referee has blown full time in the under-17 girls game. It is the Sydney Juniors 46, Country 5. And it's been a pleasure having you in the commentary box, Tony.
Thank you very much.
All the best with your coaching endeavours.
Thank you, sir.
Maybe you might want to give the under-17s coach talking to.
No, they've done quite a good job with the girls. I mean, this is an end for a reasonable program to them. I know they'll be disappointed with that result, but as I said, mate, I don't think they'll fault the effort of the girls. But Sydney definitely the better side today. Well done to Sydney.
No worries. Well, we'll take a short break and we'll be back with the under-16 boys game very shortly.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Thanks, Tony.
Pleasure.